Crazier 8s, Crazier 8s, Crazier 8s. Olympus. Now, Crazier 8s Olympus is the newest, current Kickstarter line of the Crazier 8s games by James Gray over at Recoculous. Now, I've been a big fan of these games. They're quick, they're easy, they're fast. Perfect gateway games. These are kind of games where your gaming friends and your non-gaming friends are going to be able to get together over this game because it's familiar enough. It uses a basic card game that most people know, and that's Crazy Eights, and it kind of amps it up a little bit with different themes. We've done showcases and videos and playthroughs and such for some of their other titles like Camelot and the Avalon expansion, 1001 Nights and Shahrazad, and they're really great games. And each theme is bringing something different. And this I'm really liking. I'm really liking Olympus. Now, I did a gaming radar on this when I just had read and seen a few things about it. But now, well, since then, not now like immediately, but since then, I had been sent a prototype by Recoculous, by James Gray, to check out. Now, especially since we have a couple of games under our belt now, thanks to this prototype deck, I definitely had to back this game. Yes, I did. This is definitely a Kickstart moment. This game is bringing something new, and I had mentioned it earlier in the gaming radar, and now playing through it, wow, did we realize how pretty cool these aces are. So they upped the power of the aces in this newest game, this newest version of it. And the aces are for specific gods. And their asset cards cannot be destroyed. Like if you use the, Thunderbolt card, then you can destroy any asset on the table. Not if it's Artemis, not if it's Zeus, not if it's Pan. You can't destroy those cards, which means their effects are lasting throughout the game. Now, this had to tweak a bit of my style of gaming. And so I wasn't used to it, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the newness of it. Now, as far as this Kickstarter goes, one of the things I'm excited about is the promo card. The promo card of Pandora's Box. Really loving this atomic bomb of a card. At the end of your turn, you may shuffle all cards from the discard pile and all assets that are in play on the table into the drawer pile. If you do, put the top card of the drawer pile on the top of the discard pile. So you're basically, starting a new discard pile because you need to know what card to be able to put down, right? So that card, wow. Yeah, definitely. Now, also, for the limited edition version of the Kickstarter, there are two other promos. Well, actually, you get two of the Pandora boxes, and you get two of each of these two limited edition promo cards, and that's Crete and Apotheosis. Both of these assets, and they're wild, just like the Pandora's box, so they can be put down at any time. When Crete comes into play on the table, draw 2 cards, then put any 2 cards from your hand on the bottom of the drawer pile in any order. You may discard an additional card during your turn. Now that last part is an ongoing effect. Ooh, that's pretty powerful. And Apotheosis says, at the beginning of your turn, if 4 or more assets are controlled by opponents, then you get to put up 2 asset cards from your hand into play on the table. Oh, it kind of like helps you catch up there. But that brings something else I want to talk about. As it says, if 4 or more assets are controlled by opponents. So right there, this card is going to be more valuable in a 3 or 4 player game than it is a 2-player game. Now, normally 2-player games with something like Crazy Eights or Uno is rough for the second player, because there is no 3rd or 4th player buffer going on there, and therefore the first player is always sort of at this advantage, one step beyond. Now for Crazier Eights, what they suggest for a 2-player game is that the player that goes second, if they want to, it's up to them, they may choose to skip their first draw phase. So that helps balance it out from the beginning. That's pretty cool. So we really liked this game. Like I said, enough for me to back it. I definitely think that this is a backable game. It's already fully funded, so it's not going to be like a crapshoot for you. And Recoculous and James Gray, I have been following them. I have been playing their games, and they have always delivered. This is a perfect track record. They've never left people hanging. So that's definitely a bonus. Now, I can't end this off without talking about the one thing I talk about in every single video that I talk about with any of the Crazier 8 products. And that, my God, is the art. This is some of the most beautiful, as always for the series, art I've ever seen displayed on cards. They're all like museum tapestry pieces or worthy recreations of, and they're so thematic because of that. I mean, it feels like when you look at these cards, you're at a museum, about the ancient Greek section, but as painted by Europeans, Westerners, and their depiction of it. It's a great mix, and it just works. It so works. So like everything else about this game, everything works. So if you're looking for a really great 2 to 4 player gateway card game, it's going to be familiar to people, and to those that are not familiar with Crazy Eights or Uno, it is easy enough to pick up. At the beginning of your turn, which is a little bit different than the base game that this is all coming from, at the beginning of your phase, just make sure that you check assets. If anyone, like in the first turn, this isn't going to happen. But moving forward, anytime there are assets on play on the table, make sure you check them out, because some of them have a beginning of phase effect. But other than that, you start off by drawing a card to your hand, and then you play a card from your hand. And by playing it, you either discard it from your hand or you put it into your playing area, whether it is an event or an asset. And that's it. You're trying to get down to no cards in your hand. Now, I know in some of the past games they've had some certain asset cards that, if they have certain conditions come into play while that asset card is in play, then you're going to win regardless of how many cards that you have in hand. And actually, that's usually the way I win. So check this out. Crazier Eights by Recoculous. This is Crazier Eights Olympus. The newest in the series. So I don't think that you're going to be let down by this. We backed it.